Hey everybody. Yes, my mic is unmuted. Okay, good. Hey everybody. Sorry I'm kind of like thrown together. I just got out the shower. I'm getting ready to go to an open mic in a few hours, get back out on the stage and do my stand-up comedy again. But I got informed that BHVR posted a new YouTube video. So this is, says Quality of Life Initiative, August 2025. This is apparently an update to the old to the other quality of life thing that they said that they were going to do beginning of this year, when they like promised how much they were actually like going to be taken care of. And so this is kind of an update to that. And so I'm going to tell you right now that everything that I'm looking at, like this video's almost 8 minutes long, I am very dubious. I'm taking everything they say with a grain of salt, because BHVR has proven to us in the past month, basically, that they will say anything to get good PR and then back up on what they were actually saying, or they'll just ignore us when shit actually hits the fan. So no matter what shows up here, I am no longer approaching this with optimism, because they need to earn my optimism back. Okay? So let's take a look.
Hey everybody, thank you for joining us here in our live streaming space. This is not a live stream, but we've recorded this for you rather than throwing another big wall of text at you. We thought that would be better to see us face to face, and instead of spend our time apologizing, actually spend our time talking about some actions we're gonna take to make things better in the world of DBD.
I don't want to hear you talk about actions. I wanted to see you take the actions. Right? I want to, this is pretty wholly the problem, right? Is that BHVR has spent so much time talking about how they're going to do better without actually doing better, right? That's the problem, Eric. And I know it's not Eric's fault, right? I know that he is being handed something from someone who is higher up than him, and right now Eric is just the face that is meant to be telling us these words. But I want BHVR to understand that the problem has not been them talking about their plans for stuff, although transparency has been a big issue. It is that they talk about stuff, but they don't ever actually seem to do things. And when they do things, they don't do them correctly. And then when we point out that they didn't do them correctly, they pitch hissy fits on Discord and the forums and Twitter and talk about how we don't understand how hard it is for them, when that's not the case at all.
So we brought on our executive producer, Jose, and Jose, why don't we get into it?
Yes, thanks, Eric. Hey, everyone. So the way we are going to approach this conversation a little bit is we are going to essentially split it in three parts. We are going to discuss what we're going to do short term, mid term, and a little bit more long term, in order to give you more visibility and more direct actions on how we plan to improve the situation.
Yes, so getting right.
I do like that. I do like that idea, because what we got in the beginning of the year was a phase 1, phase 2. And it was basically these massive month-long spans where things were supposed to be coming, but we weren't quite sure when in each of the months they were going to be coming. So I like the idea of splitting it up even further so that we know what to expect month to month.
Right into it, in the short term, we have been able to introduce an additional hotfix release, which we're calling Hotfix 3 very creatively. That'll come out in a couple more weeks, in the week of August 25th. That will address more of the issues and bugs that unfortunately were introduced with our July release, and give us a little more extra time to polish things up. The fallout of that is we get to push back our PTB for our next chapter release a couple weeks as well.
I have no issues with this. If you need to delay a new chapter in order to make sure that the game is in a functioning state, I do not care. And anybody with a functioning brain cell should also not care. This is what we're talking about, right? This is action. This is them actually taking action. So I look forward to this next bug fix. I don't know why it's going to take a couple of weeks, but I'll tell you what, if it comes and it's like a massive thing, like it's so much that I don't want to read everything when I do the video on it, sure, I'm all for it, banging job. But if you take 2 weeks and you give me 3 paragraphs and a handful of things that I can read inside of 5 minutes, I don't know what you pushed it out that far for. So it's going to depend on how big this bug fix is, but regardless, if you would rather get the game in a playable state before you release a new chapter, I'm all for that.
That will allow that team some extra time to do some extra polish on that chapter, which is shaping up really nicely. It's the one we spoke of at PAX. This is our folklore chapter. It's an original chapter. It's looking really cool. So that team gets a little extra time for polish as well. And then in the medium term.
So in the medium term, we are going to discuss a little bit about the November release specifically. So in November, we are planning to bring a pretty amazing license chapter as we presented in the annual roadmap. In order to bring that chapter to a really high level of quality and stability, but also to bring more focus on bug fixes and quality of life, we've made the decision to move the release of this license chapter content from November to January and to merge it with the new chapter release that we have in January. That doesn't mean we are not going to have a release in November, but that release in November is going to fully focus on bug fixing and quality of life, in addition to have the winter event.
That's right. So there'll be a...
That is massive. That is insane, actually. They're pushing the November chapter out 2 months. See, and this is kind of what people have been asking for, right? This is kind of what a lot of us have been asking for, is for Behavior to just take a break from releasing new stuff to fix what's currently in the game, right? I like this. I like this. So far, on paper, this all sounds good. Let's hear what they have to say about the focuses, and then I'll comment on that.
Focus on killer issues and bugs, which we know have been piling up, as well as some more improvements on camping, tunneling, and slugging.
Indeed.
I am so fucking concerned about the slugging, tunneling, and camping stuff. And the reason I'm concerned, because I know somebody's going to call me an entitled killer main, whatever. I refuse to engage with people who use the phrase entitled blank main as an argumentative point anymore. I was playing today. I was on Garden of Joy. I was Vecna. And I had all 5 gens have been completed, and I didn't have a kill. And I managed to get this Lara Croft on the ground. And the regular play would be to leave her on the ground by the hook and chase the other survivors, try to get a second down, or push all 3 of them out so I can guarantee a kill. I couldn't do that because she had unbreakable conviction. So she picked herself up almost immediately. This is not the first time this kind of thing has happened. Several times I have had to go to tunnel or slug or even proxy camp because that was the right play at the right time, and I got fucked by the overabundance of second chance or anti-tunnel, anti-slug perks that there are. Survivors don't need more tools in these categories. They don't. I understand that a lot of y'all don't like it. I understand that y'all think it's unfun. I get it. But at the end of the day, if you continue to take away every single fucking killer strategy, then killer play is going to be samey, boring, and quite frankly, unintuitive. No killer wants to just holding W after the survivors is not fun. Having to ignore survivors who make misplays because you might run into all of these perks is not fun. Having a survivor get unhooked and immediately run into your face while you're chasing another survivor so they can force off the record, dead hard, whatever the case may be, is not fun. Yeah, I get it. You don't like being tunneled. You don't like being slugged. You don't like camping. I understand. I don't like being forced to only hold W after survivors. That's not fun either. I would like to be able to apply the strategies that would be the correct plays and not get punished for it. And it's about time we had a serious, actual conversation where everybody could put their fucking biases aside for 2 seconds and understand that if killer play gets too frustrating, if it gets too boring, then you're not going to have fucking killers to queue against. Sorry, I got a little heated there.
Among other things.
Yes, most of the things that you saw in the first quality of life video that we did are still there. You mentioned the slugging, the tunneling, the camping, very much there. There are a few things which will not be part of that November release that we are going to discuss a little bit as part of this phase 3.
Yep. So speaking of phase 3, this is a bit longer term, but not that far. We are looking at a response to something I hear a lot in the community, which is behavior, slow down on the content and fix your game. So I think we're going to do that.
Yeah,
I'm down.
So
I'm
it's
down.
something which was not really visible when we did present that annual roadmap, where we saw and we could show that there was not going to be a killer in the March release. And that's a big deal. That's a big difference between killer are very resource heavy in order to make them at the quality level we want them to be.
All right.
And so not having a killer free up an amount of resource and space, which is going to bring so much focus on, again, bug fixing, on gameplay issues, long-lasting gameplay issues, and on quality of life. So it's going to give us more bandwidth than ever in order to make this a large focus.
I'm approaching this with a very tentative optimism because, again, you have to earn my optimism back. You have to earn that back. But I love that they are talking about delaying content to focus on health. That is such a monumental statement to make in the first place. Because the whole time that we've been talking about how behavior needs to take some time off, stop making content and just focus purely on bug fixes, updating outdated killers, updating outdated maps, making quality of life changes and stuff like that. Every time that conversation has come up, there's always been this group of people who are like, behavior can't do that because then they lose a lot of money, right? And I have always hated that argument because there's ways around that. You can have cosmetic sales. You can have cosmetic updates. You can have giant, like, you know what I mean? Like, you can have a store-focused update and then in the background, like, rework. Like, if they were to come in and say, rework Trapper, Myers, Hag, and Super Buff Legion, right? Then they could put like sales on all the cosmetics for those killers. So not only do you get these buffed killers with new toys to play with, but you also get to like buy new skins for those killers, right? That would be something that they could do to supplement the income. And so I am happy that behavior is talking about actually doing this now, because this is something that they've needed to do for a very long time. And it also helps me go, nah, they're doing it, which the petty side of me really enjoys. So very, very excited about that.
We do have really good progress already done, though, on an upcoming map for that chapter, right?
Ooh.
So we're going to see about keeping that.
Yes, so right now the plan for this release is to have a survivor and a map.
If you release this listen to me, behavior, I'm going full screen for this, okay? And now I'm zooming in for this. If you release this fucking map and it is one building inside of an existing realm with 39 fucking pallets and like 17 double pallet setups all around that building, I'm going up to Behavior Studios and I'm stealing all of your fucking toilet paper. I'm just taking it all. And right when you're having a Taco Bell shit, I'm just gonna walk into the stall and steal your goddamn toilet paper. Make a proper fucking map, for God's sakes. Because the last two have been shit.
We are going to decide and challenge ourselves, if I may say, in terms of whether or not we are bringing a survivor. Survivor brings perks, and perks can be time-consuming in terms of finding the right balance. The map is progressing really well. It's going to be a very exciting new realm that we think people are going to enjoy a lot.
New realm, okay.
So right now our plan is to keep that map. It's important to always find the balance of still having something exciting and new to experience, and we think this map is going to be quite influential in that sense. But not having a killer and potentially not having a survivor is going to free up a lot of space.
I'm down.
Fantastic.
I'm down.
So we'll have a whole release focused on quality of life. Before we wrap up, you mentioned a couple of minutes ago, there were some things that we've announced previously for the Quality of Life initiative that we want to update on.
Yes, so there are 3 topics that you can see on the asset, which are potentially right now that's a plan in the March release as well. So one is the MMR matchmaking rating revamp. So this one is quite important. Doing the matchmaking correctly is something which matters a lot for players to have a good experience. Mm-hmm. And we have done quite extensive user research discussion with our consultant and content creators, and we think we need more design iterations in order to be where we want to be. So releasing it before the end of the year, we will not have been confident with bringing a solution which is going to be something that our players love.
I want to say right now, did you guys just hear me fart? I'm very sorry. That's not what I wanted to say. But I want to say right now that I think that this statement is incredibly important and something you need to lock onto, right? If you didn't catch what he said was, we did not feel confident in releasing this before the end of the year and it being up to standard, is basically what he said, right? That is such an important thing that a lot of game developers do not do. A lot of game developers are like, we got to get this out. We got to get this out now. Don't care what state it is, get it out. And this is something that Behavior has been doing for a while now. So the idea that not only are they delaying content in order to fix their fucking game, but they are also delaying updates to make sure they're in the best state they can be is so monumental that if all of this happens how they're saying, Behavior will regain my trust.
So that's one.
Yeah, and I've actually heard it discussed internally as what we were working on was an MMR update. Yep. With the feedback we got on what we did for the MMR update, it's now really much more of a revamp.
Indeed.
Interesting. Interesting.
I will not go into too much of the details right now. That will take a long time,
Yeah.
but that's something which for us is very exciting because we think it's going to push the right type of behavior to be kind of rewarded, and that's something which is quite exciting for us. Yeah. The two other topics are perk preview in the lobby. So that's also been a conversation as part of the first quality of life effort. We showcase, the perk preview for yourself in the lobby. But of course, one of the big conversations is, can I see the perks of the people I'm playing with as a survivor? Mm-hmm. And we will bring that in the game, in match, in the March release as well.
In match, but probably not in the lobby.
No, we will assess the reaction because there is a risk of toxicity which comes with this feature.
That's fine.
In terms of
Yeah. Okay.
etc. We want people to still being able to have fun and experiment with their perk setups and loadouts. So we will determine later, depending on the conversation which happen in match, to see if ultimately we will bring it in the lobby, but not planned for now.
Yep. And
I like that, actually. One of the things that I've been saying for a while is that the best thing to do is to either do it during the loading screen, or once you get into the match, if you can hit escape and see your teammates' perks, that's great. Because then if some asshole wants to be like, oh my god, bro, my fucking teammate's running no mither, and fucking instant DC or whatever, then it punishes them and you guys still get a bot and everything, right? As opposed to during the lobby, nobody wants to wait 15 minutes for a game because a bunch of fucking losers who care way too much about an imaginary number that they try to pick up bitches with. I got high MMR, bro. Nobody cares about that. So because of that, it's important to make sure that people are punished themselves instead of them punishing others.
the final one being the prestige.
Prestige rewards. So
Yes.
that's something we want to do right. We want it to be exciting, but we want to find the right balance of what is exciting, but something which we can deliver not forever, something which works with all licenses that we have in the game. And so we think we have something really cool, but that will also come with that release.
Great.
Okay.
So this has been a very high level, top-down view of what we've got planned over the next number of months. There's definitely going to be more that's involved. There's going to be more detail with each of our releases for sure. So stay tuned to our channels. Stay tuned to every patch note we put out there. We're going to be putting a lot more effort on our bugs, on visibility for you on what we're working on, and going to go from there. So thank you to the community. Thank you to Jose for joining us. Thank you to the community for keeping us accountable. We know it's not been the easiest couple weeks for you. We're right there with you. And we're going to get through it, and we've got a great plan to address a lot of this stuff. So hang in there with us, and we'll see you online.
I will say this, and I don't know if anybody from Behavior watches any of my videos. Mathematically speaking, there's probably at least one or two devs that do watch my videos. So I will say this, and if you're at Behavior, you can deliver this to whoever it needs to be delivered to. I am willing to give you chances. I am willing, me personally, to continue making content for this game and to give you chances. But everybody has a line. Everybody has a threshold that they can deal with, and every single player you have has a different one, right? While creators like me, who make money off of talking about your game, might have higher thresholds, a lot of other players probably don't. If you talk to, or you hang out in our communities, my community, the Mr. Headaches, Odds Darvas, Hens, you know, all these DVD streamers, I want you to pay attention to our YouTube comment sections and to Twitch chats, because if you have been, there's a lot of people who are straight up saying that they don't play this game anymore because they're tired of your shit. My Discord right now has several people who tell me that they only watch my videos for me. They don't watch it for DBD. They don't like DBD. They are done with Dead by Daylight. They only watch it because I'm the one making the video. So you need to understand that. So these are all great plans, and this is all great. But you have till March. March is where you said you're doing all this. You have till March. That is where I want to see the most amount of improvement. That is where I want to see all of these be taken action. And if you fuck something up, listen to us when we tell you you did. And stop letting your community managers run fucking wild just saying random shit, because it's getting annoying. All right. I got 2 hours before I need to leave. So let's go ahead and get this in the editor and wrap this up.